Nick, Urban Splash got accreditation from the Housing Corporation last summer, was it?
Yeah.
Have you used that for any schemes yet? Have you made your first applications for?
We've certainly made applications. They have yet to come to fruition because there's a big debate going on at the moment about certain of the stock units, and also how the budget announcement of the fund to help stall schemes might be of assistance in terms of helping our programme. So it's all part of a big conversation, but it's not unfortunately a single conversation. That there are many people that are competing for ultimately what is a very modest amount of money. I'm not saying it's unhelpful, but ultimately the problem is far greater than the amount of money that is available to deal with the issues.
So the original aspiration that Sir Bob Kerslake, Chief Executive, had when he came in, obviously nobody could have predicted the market when the HCA was first envisaged. That aspiration of a single conversation, do you think it's one that hasn't been achieved?
No, I think the aspiration for a single conversation is a noble one, and it's probably one of the easiest things to achieve. The reality is that the HCA is a merger of English Partnerships and the Housing Corporation. English Partnerships relied to a very large extent upon land receipts, income from the sale of land that they owned, and quite clearly that was drying up this time last year when when the agencies were merged. A large proportion of the forecast income stream to assist the regeneration programme has simply dried up. So there are some very real issues that as a result of the wider economic circumstances that face the delivery programme and just the amount of budget that's available, because that simply is, nobody's buying sites. The sites that were worth money now, were perhaps on the balance sheet, are now worth a fraction of that which they were previously. So the situation that we all face economically, the agency is no exception to feeling bruised by current economic circumstances.
And have you found consumer demand from your buyers, as it were, for things like the Home Buy Direct scheme and some of the other...
Use buyers plural then.
Well, you tell us, have people taken up those schemes, or are they in such fragile financial states that they can't even go for the things like the subsidised rent, the shared equity? The Home Buy Direct is useful if you have a number of stock units, but it relies entirely on the demand in the marketplace and the availability of mortgages for that product to be taken up. So in actual fact, whilst the allocation was made to the private sector, there has been very little drawdown of the product because the demand in the marketplace is so low. So it's helpful, but again, the problem is far greater, and there are few signs of a return to the kind of marketplace, the flatted city centre schemes, because, for a wide variety of reasons, not least of which is to some extent there's oversupply. People have a choice of what they want to buy, and what we're finding, which is actually very helpful, is that people are renting. So we're shifting fundamentally away from sale towards rent, but the problem with that is that the economics of it don't actually work, that the yields are too poor, which goes back to the point about the institutional interest. The yields at the moment are too poor to support an economic case for investment in wholesale without subsidy in the private rented sector.